Adam, how's it going, buddy?
Hi Samuel, hello, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Nice to talk to you. So,
What an absolute pleasure.
What's that?
I said, what an absolute pleasure. Just thanks for giving me the opportunity to give you a ring.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy. So, what's going on then, buddy?
Basically, my situation, as I said on Facebook, is I'm quite new to all this. I'm a first year junior doctor. I'm 23. I've just come straight out of medical school, and I'm working in Liverpool. And basically, I've decided that I'd like to get into property. I came across yourself online on YouTube. I've read your book. I really like to give this property thing a go. I'm pretty motivated, but my problem is I'm extremely time poor as a junior doctor. I'm in sort of 70 grand's worth of debt. And basically I understand that sort of cash flow is my biggest issue at the moment, and I've decided first I need to educate myself really, go on your courses and really sort of think about rent to rent in ways that I can firstly sort of free up some cash flow for myself. That's the main sort of short-term goal, with the long-term goal being really to supplement my wage so I can have a bit more time to spend with family and stuff.
All right, cool. So currently you said you're £70,000 worth in debt. You're working as a junior doctor, and are you living in Liverpool?
Yeah, I live in Liverpool in a flat just not too far from the centre of town. I share it with friends.
Okay. So what's your plan then? How much income do you need in order to? Did you say about 3 or 4K to become sort of financially free, so to speak?
Yeah, really about 24 to 30. I mean, I do enjoy my job. Listen. And I do want to sort of get through the first 2 years of being a junior doctor, and then I'll have a little break. I can have a little break on my third year where I can have some more time to sort of build up some more money and things, because it's a bit more free in the third year. But I want to sort of supplement along the way. So it's 24 plus really would be sort of to almost double my wage. I mean, I do a lot of overtime, but you can earn quite a bit of money as a junior, but it's just the money's traded for hours. And a lot of them really.
Yeah. How many hours are you doing at the moment as a junior doctor?
So I can do anywhere between sort of 50 to 72 a week. Sometimes I can do a 46-hour week. I'm on nights this week, so I'm doing 8 to 8 every day. So I thought I got out of bed for this one because I thought it was an important one to me. So I thought, what an opportunity.
All right. And what's your salary?
My salary currently is about 36. I've only had 2 wage packets so far, and that's sort of paying off my my overdraft from my sort of student accounts. I had a small overdraft of about 2 and a bit grand also.
All right.
Which is sort of my prerogative to get out of that. I don't know. It's all 0% interest. That.
Yeah. So what do you want?
Literally starting from zero.
What do you want to be doing in 10 years when you're 33?
When I'm 33, hopefully I'll be a GP part time with a sort of full-time property portfolio, including sort of HMOs and rent to rents really. I really enjoy I think I really enjoy HMOs anyway. I used to help landlords when I was at university sort of build their houses for them.
Okay.
And used to get the admin fees off them. So I've spoken to a few in Liverpool, but as you can imagine, with being time poor, it sort of went off towards the end of my medical school sort of degree, if you like. But it was really helpful back then.
Okay. Why do you want to build a property portfolio though? If you want to be a doctor and you really enjoy that, and there's good money in that, and you actually enjoy it, why do you want also to have a property portfolio?
I think it was sort of last year I realised that to me, even though I do enjoy medicine, life is about more than that, and there's other things I want to do. And when you meet most doctors, they're sort of, they're comfortable, but they're really sort of time restricted, if you like. So I think I'd still like to be a GP, but on my own terms. So I've got free time to spend with sort of friends and family. I mean, my mum and dad have helped me quite a lot through medical school, and I just love to sort of have time to spend with them and take them on holidays and things. And, just free up cash really. Yeah. Just free up time more than cash. I understand as a GP I can earn quite a bit, but it's the time that's sort of more important to me really.
That makes sense. So for you then, is the property game, is this like a 3-6 month plan? Is it a 3-6 year plan? I mean, when are you wanting to see results and start getting income from property? Are you thinking long term, or are you thinking more short term, or both?
One of my biggest sort of drawbacks in the past with things when I was at uni was sort of patience, and I know property is a long-term game, and I've tried to slow myself down a bit this time. I know that I'm really good at I'm really good at usually sort of finding deals and things, getting in contact with people if I'm interested in things. But I know it's a long-term game, and I'd really like to this time really gain the education that I need before sort of jumping into it. But obviously there comes a point where you've had enough education, you really just need to get your hands in and dirty. But I'm not sure I'm at that point yet. But I think I just need a bit of a push really of just getting into it. I mean, obviously the team and surrounding myself with people that do it every day will absolutely sort of bring me on leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
So short term, I'd love to. I mean, by the end of this year, I'd quite like to move out of this flat and maybe borrow some money or family or friends to have my own house and sort of rent out to friends just to free up cash flow. So that's short term.
Yeah.
But then I'm really motivated sort of to have long term properties that can sort of capital growth is obviously a massive thing, but also I know the cash flow in the meantime is just as important really. So I can sort of keep my head above in the positive really.
Yeah.
So both.
So what do you want from me?
Just some advice, really, Sammy. I mean, I've followed your story on YouTube, and I've read your book, and you've really inspired me. I was just wondering, sort of me being so time poor at the moment. I mean, obviously it is a bit of an obstacle that the amount of hours I work, and I am prepared to sort of take time off to do courses and things. I think that's really important, and I understand that I need to invest time. But if there's any advice you'd give me that was sort of for me to be the most time efficient as possible, really, would it be sort of thinking about deal sourcing, or if you've got anything else you think that's sort of worth adding to my plan?
Well, I think there's a few things that you could be and should be doing.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that you're based in Liverpool is really cool because a lot of people live in areas that aren't really very good for investing, and they have to drive 6 hours each way to get to a place such as Liverpool, whereas it's on your doorstep. So I think that's a real thing that you've got going for you. Second thing you've got going for you is that you are switched on. You've managed HMOs before. You've worked with landlords. You know the crack. I think you've got a lot going for you. I think the things that you need to bear in mind is if you've not got money to invest, so you need to do strategies such as sourcing and rent to rents and stuff, that's fine. But if you've not got money and you've not got time, there needs to be something, you need to put something in. So I know that you're willing and you're hungry and stuff, but it's not going to happen kind of for you or by accident. You need to make sacrifice to make it happen. So
I know.
So what I would probably say in regards to what strategy to use, I'd probably do 3 things. I'd do number 1. I think it would be really good if you got a couple of rent to rents in Liverpool. You could do service. You could do find a couple of apartments and do them as rent to serviced accommodation.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you don't have to spend loads of time. Literally. Some of the guys that I'm working with, that they'll take a week or 2 off work, and in that week or 2, they'll go and secure 2 or 3 deals.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not like you need to work really hard for 6 months. Literally, it's just a case of maybe a few days. Making some calls, viewing some properties. If you find some apartments in Liverpool that are in the right part of Liverpool that you can rent for say 500 or 600 quid, and you can get permission to rent them out on serviced accommodation. Get a company like Avivo to manage the apartment, and you can rake it in. You can rake it in doing that, and Liverpool's a cracking area for that.
Absolutely, it's finding the deals, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but you can do that. I mean, you're reasonably switched on. You're in the right area, so I think that'd be one strategy. Second strategy that I'd use alongside rent to rent would be I would be sourcing deals. So any property doesn't work for you. Let's say you find a rent to rent deal, but you need to invest 10 grand into it, and it's and then you need to furnish it, and it doesn't really stack up for you. Then I'd be then going on Facebook groups. I'd be finding Facebook groups where they allow you to talk about deals that you've got, and I'll be selling the deals.
Sure.
I mean, 1 deal a month. Sell 1 deal a month. 2-3 grand. It's like a full-time income.
Wow. Okay. That's crazy. And when it comes to sourcing, obviously the better package. I've read that the better package the deal, obviously the more money you make from it.
That's correct. If it's just a lead, I've got a potential deal, I've just found it, then you might charge a few hundred quid. But if you can package it up You could even, I know you're time poor, but you could even like put a little power team together in Liverpool and package it up with the team and, you know, really go to town on it. And although you're going to have to work quite hard because you're working full time as it is, it's short term. It's short-term pain for long-term gain, delayed gratification.
Absolutely.
Alongside all this stuff that you're doing in Liverpool, I would be putting aside a portion of your income and saving. I don't know, are you saving money every month?
Yeah, do you say am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to save sort of between 750 to 1,000 quid if I can. I mean, it's quite a bit because I'm on about sort of 2.5 a month roughly.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to save about £1,000 if I can. Obviously, the first 2 months just paying back my overdraft, but then after that, I'll be going into the plus. The other thing I didn't tell you actually is I know my mum and dad have literally got about 100 odd K sitting in the bank. They're sort of retired. Their dad's 60s, retiring. He's always wanted to do property. My worry is that should they sort of lend some of that to me? I really, you know, because it's family, I really want to sort of make sure I'm confident with it so I can give them a return if they want and things, you know. I don't want to mess around with someone so close to me.
Yeah. All right, tell your mum and dad that you've got a brilliant idea and that you're really confident you can invest their money really well. But before you even talk about doing it, you want to get some deals yourself first.
Yeah.
So don't let them spend it or invest it with anybody else. Get yourself a couple of rent-to-rents in Liverpool, source a couple of properties in Liverpool to other investors, and then get some money. And then your confidence will be through the roof, your knowledge will be through the roof, you'll have some savings yourself, and you'll be thinking, right, and then borrow the 100 grand off your parents and buy a couple of big HMOs in Liverpool.
Absolutely, fantastic. That sounds quality. But when it comes to power team and things, do you think it is still worth me spending my sort of first few couple of £1,000 on sort of courses and things like that to sort of get myself going?
Courses are great as long as they give you a return on investment. When you invest in a property, you need to see a return on investment. In the same way, when you're investing in a course, you need to see a return on investment.
Yeah, obviously that's absolutely that's so helpful. I mean, my current problems are I understand sort of rent to rent principle, but I don't have a power team in place, so I need to do that. And I guess the only way to do that is to sort of network and go on courses. So, you know, I guess courses probably, I understand they're really valuable, and I understand, you know, I'm trying to get to one of yours soon, I promise. It's I booked some time off and I'll come down wherever you are.
Let me tell you something though. Yeah, I mean, courses, obviously, I wouldn't run training programs if I didn't think they were good. When you just go and do it and go and get the deals, suddenly the power team just come into place. Suddenly the correct contracts just come into place. You can spend a long time learning and planning, but when you just do, things start to come into place. So what will happen is you'll find a rent-to-rent deal and you'll be like, oh my goodness, I've got this rent-to-rent deal. It doesn't work for me, so I need to sell it on. And then you'll be thinking, you know what? It's worth me taking 2 days of my time to go and spend 2 days in a room filled with 200 investors, because not only will I learn, but I know that I'll also flog a deal and make £2,000.
Yeah.
Because you're going with actual questions, with actual deals to have reviewed, with properties to sell, because you've done it. So I wouldn't delay the doing before the learning, especially if you're not risking anything. If you're about to invest, you know, 100 grand into something, then I'd say go get education first. But with yourself, I think you just got to start doing. In regards to your finances, you said about you're going to try. You know, you were using words like I'm going to try and save £1,000 a month and see what I can do. Most people, they spend all their money on bills and different things, and then they save and invest what's left. But when you do that, there's always nothing. So what you need to do is when you get paid, straight away, boom, you need to put £1,000 or whatever it might be aside into a different account that's locked away that you can't touch. And then the rest, you pay your bills and everything like that second, but you pay yourself first.
Okay.
And then what will happen is miraculously the bills will take care of themselves, but also you'll be saving. And that way, come 6-12 months, you'll have enough money to buy your first little property, and you can, you know, buy it to live in and rent the rooms out. And by that time, you'll have experience, you'll have money to invest in your own property, you'll have some rent-to-rent deals, you'll have sourced a few properties, and then you'll be in a position where you can borrow the money off your folks.
Unbelievable. It's really helpful. It's really helpful to hear from you. I appreciate it a lot. So you reckon straight out there, looking for these rent-to-rent deals, say, or like online and sort of go and view properties through estate agents and things.
See it as a hobby. See it as instead of saying, "Oh, I'm going to go around the shops and buy some clothes and go for a Mackey's," say, "Oh, it's Saturday. I'm going to spend 3 or 4 hours going and viewing 5 or 6 potential investment properties." And then when you're doing it, you'll start to get really good questions. And instead of looking for all the answers, you want to start looking for the right questions.
Sure. And you reckon, sort of, obviously, it's area dependent, but sort of service accommodation in the centre of Liverpool. Sort of quite not a bad idea, is it? And obviously, quite a lot of landlords here sort of packing it in currently anyway. From what
exactly.
I can see on sort of, they are starting to sell some things.
Service accommodation, yeah, absolutely. I'll be wanting to do that in Liverpool. Is there anything else you need from me right now?
No, that's so helpful. Just sort of any other advice. Obviously, like you say, when I find these rent-to-rent deals, I sort of first think, oh God, like, what do I do with it? How do I get it? But
which is the right kind of question. That's the right kind of question. That, oh my gosh, I've got this rent-to-rent deal. What do I do with it? That would be a brilliant problem to have.
Yeah. Okay.
So you need to, instead of having a problem at the moment, your problem is, oh, I haven't got time. Oh, I'm frustrated. Oh, I don't. That's a terrible problem.
Yeah.
The problem you want is, oh, what do I do with this rent to rent?
Right.
You're always going to have problems, but you want the right kind of problems.
I understand. That's really helpful to hear. I appreciate your time a lot. Thank you very much anyway.
Very welcome, bro. Take it easy. Keep me posted.
Cheers, man. Absolutely amazing.
See you, mate.
Thanks for talking to me.